All right, so if you landed on this video, it's because you're interested in becoming a police officer or you're already in the process. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 steps that I took when I was applying, and I've been a cop for about 10 years now, so it's been about 12 years since I've actually applied. Now, I know things have changed, but the foundation is still the same. All right, so the 5 things that I'm gonna break down is gonna be research, education, fitness, your mental state or your mindset, and then family at the end. So let's dive right into the first one, research. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, whether you're already applying now or you graduated, now you're in the process, or maybe you're a senior in high school or you're a freshman in college, start doing your research now. Start looking at departments, seeing what hours they work, the benefits they have, what the call volume is. If you're wondering what call volume is just, when you get dispatched to things, how many calls are you getting per shift, and if it's something you can handle, because there's some departments that are busy and some departments that they may get 1 or 2 calls a night. So that's something to think about, how busy you want to be. You want to be in a bigger city, you want to be a smaller city. And the other thing you want to think about is technology. So what I've learned in my time is that police departments are a little behind in technology, and you just don't want to be at a department that's like super behind. So you definitely want to look into that too, because we write a lot of reports. You do accident reports. You're writing tickets. So you want to make sure the tech is not making your job easier, and you don't want to be at a department where you have to go through a bunch of things in order to get one thing done. So you guys are probably wondering, so how am I going to do this research? How can the research be easier? So if you're in the Midwest, I'm going to go to this website. I'm going to screen record right now. So I'm going to go to this website. It's called theblueline.com. All right. So if you go to theblueline.com, it's going to have, you can search it by state. So these are the states it has. It has California, Oregon, Illinois, Wisconsin, and New York. So we're just going to go to Illinois. That's where I'm at. And we're going to see what kind of jobs they have there. So this is where you can start your research. This is a good place to start. So as you can see, there's a bunch of departments here, and there's the salary, the starting salary, which is very important. You want to make sure you're getting paid well for doing this type of job. So let's just check out these departments and see who's hiring. All right, so this is what I'll do. I'm going to break down 2. So this is kind of interesting right here. All right, so this department right here breaks down their starting salary, and it lays out their benefit package. So 12-hour patrol shift. So if you think about what I said, our hours is 12 hours, something you think you're going to be able to work. So that's probably 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. But then you get, I believe it's like every other weekend off if you work 12-hour shifts. And if you're a new guy, I mean, that's pretty nice to already have the weekends off right away, because when I started, it was days off during the week, 2 days off during the week, and I had that for like 5 years, and I was working midnight shift. So it's not a bad start for if you're a new guy, because everybody wants the weekends off. So this is why I say go to theblueline.com, because this kind of breaks down a little bit of the research that you're going to have to do. So it goes into the minimum requirements. So definitely take a look at these, what you're going to need. So this is the part where I wanted to get to, because I'm going to show you another department that I found that's a little different. So this one, you got to have a high school diploma or GED equivalent, but you also have to have some type of college. So this is the difference that some departments have. So this is why you really got to look and do your research, because if you don't want to go to school, and you just want to test to become a police officer, some of these departments are only going to require a high school diploma. But the other thing I wanted to point out was it doesn't say that you need a bachelor's in law enforcement. It just says some college. So what I tell a lot of people is that if you have other hobbies or interests while you're in college, then I suggest you major in that, and that way it gives you more flexibility, because this may take a year or so, or it could take longer depending on the time that you start applying. Like I said, when it was me, it took me 2.5 years, and I was doing security jobs. So because I had a law enforcement degree, and I couldn't get a job at an office because my degree wasn't relatable. So I was at, working security. But now I tell people in college or going to college, give them that advice or give them that other option that, you don't have to major in law enforcement. You could do something else and still become a cop down the road. This one is still requiring a fee, so $45. And, it gives you, so see the required documents. So this is important too, because you don't want to apply and then you're not able to get these documents in on time. Copy of transcripts, sometimes that could take a while. So you want to go, most of the departments are going to require all the same things. So make sure you get all these, have a bunch of copies of these, so that way you can have a lot of them when you're looking to submit your application. So let me go to another one that I saw. All right, so look at this department right here. Starting salary, only 38 cops. These are the minimum requirements. Doesn't go into the benefits package. So you are going to have to do a little bit of research on that. If this is a department or a city that you would want to be in or work for. And then it goes here, required documentation, things you're going to need. See, this one only needs a high school diploma. So, that's why research is important, because it's also going to play a role in what you do with your future. So when you graduate high school or you're in college and maybe you don't like it anymore, you can still start to apply when you're 21. But, I still suggest you do some school, get something. You're going to need something. High school is not going to be enough. And then, it tells you, this one states the polygraph, medical exam, psych exam, drug screening, and background investigation. But they're all going to have that. This is all going to be the same. The only thing that you're really going to have to research and decide is hours. So some are on 10s, some are on 12s, and some are on 8s. So you're going to have to decide, how many hours you want to work, and what kind of schedule you're going to want before you start applying for that department. Now, granted, if you're looking just to get in, just to get, just to become a cop and be certified, you can always transfer out to a different department if that's what you want to do. Some departments are taking laterals, so and they're taking laterals first over new hires, so that could be an option for you. All right, so after you've done your research and you've identified what kind of education you're going to need, the next thing you want to be prepared for is the fitness portion of becoming a cop. So when you do the application process, you're gonna need what it's called a power test card, and that's where you go actually take the physical exam of the process. Depending on your age, is going to determine what you're going to need to do, and obviously if you're male or female. But if you are, but what goes into the power test is you're going to need to do a sit and reach, which is you just sitting on the floor, seeing how far you can reach past your toes, 1 minute sit-ups, bench press, and a 1.5 mile. So if you're younger, I'll leave a link in the description below to the website where you can see the physical test standards. But just to go over it real quick, for people who are 20 to 29, because that's usually going to be majority of the applicants. If you're a male, 20 to 29, your sit and reach needs to be a 14.4, so 14.4 inches. And if you're a female, 17 inches. Sit-ups, 33 sit-ups in a minute. If you're a female, 24 sit-ups in a minute. Bench press, 88% of your body weight. One max rep, so 88% of your body weight. And then females, 51%. 1.5 mile, 14 minutes. Female, 16 minutes and 46 seconds. All this is very doable. And that's why I'm telling you, you got to stay in shape, some type of shape. And you got to be working out and having consistency in your fitness program, whatever it is that you're doing, and really testing for this constantly. So some departments are going to make you have the power test card. They're going to have you, if you get hired and you make it through the process and you're going to go to the academy, some have you come in before the academy and take the power test again at their department. And if you fail, then you're out. And then while you're in the academy, you're going to be working out. You're going to take the power test again. And then when you come back, some departments are going to say, let's see if you still stayed in shape. Take the power test again. And then, if you fail it, maybe they give you a chance, or maybe they boot you out. So fitness is going to be very important. And now some of the things that come up is after you get hired and you're on the street alone, do you have to still continue to work out? No, you don't have to. Obviously, everybody sees what type of cops are out there. Some are in better shape than others, but you don't have to maintain that level of fitness throughout your entire career. Should you? Yes, but no, you don't have to. But right now, if you're in college or you just graduated, or maybe you're a little older and you're trying to make a transition into this, start working out a little bit. If you have any questions on anything or what you could be doing, you can either do some research on YouTube. You can send me a message. I can give you my suggestions on what you should be doing to stay in shape and get ready for your test. So moving on to the fourth piece of this is your mental state. So why do I bring that up? And that's because the job can be challenging, and there's going to be harder years than others. And plus, the schedule can take a toll on you depending on what you're working. So if you're working midnight shift, is that something you can handle? Can you sleep? Can you stay longer past your shift and still deal with everything you have to do at home? But if you're young, you're good. You're living by yourself. But if you're like me and you got kids and this is something you want to get into, you got to take all that into account. So you got to really prepare yourself mentally going into this. It's going to have challenges. It's going to be hard. Some supervisors are harder than others. There's a lot of things that go into this because you're dealing with, when people call you, you're going to be dealing with them at their worst time. Not all the time, but some of the time. And that's something you got to be prepared for. Things you're going to see. Are you going to be able to deal with it afterwards? So a lot of this stuff that goes into it that people don't really talk about is the mental side of things, and just kind of being mentally tough and ready for the challenges that are going to come, because they are going to come. It's not going to be easy. Not having weekends off. Some places don't have weekends off. So you may have to miss a holiday. You may have to miss a birthday. I was late to my daughter's birthday one time, and that was rough. I was late. I was there, but, it was rough. I was like, man, I'm going to be late, to my daughter's birthday. But it was what it was. So, I got through it. I made it. Was I a little frustrated? Yeah, but, it's part of the job. It's what I signed up for. So that's what I want you to realize is, if this is what you're signing up for, then, just mentally be prepared for some of those challenges. All right, so the last piece to this, I think it's one of the most important pieces, is your family and friends. Making sure you're talking to them about what it is you want to get into, because not only are you signing up for this, they are also signing up for this too, because like I said, if you're going to be late for things, you're going to miss things, that's going to also affect them. And, some people it affects more than others, where they're going to be upset that maybe you're not there for family party or holidays, and they're going to be like, why can't you be there? Or maybe you're signing up for overtime and you're working more. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it that people forget to think about. Also, like going out, now things change. So you can't go out with your friends that get into bar fights or something like that, like they did in college. You're not going to be able to do that no more, because you can't put yourself in those positions. So this is something to think about, something to talk to your friends about. I personally did. I talked to, my best friend about it when I was signing up for it, and he was all for it. So he was there. He's gonna be there to help me. He's gonna be there to, if we go out, he knew that, hey, like, I'm gonna look out for him, make sure I don't put him in a bad spot. And if something does pop off or something does happen, then he's gonna be able to, be like, hey man, stay out here, whatever the case may be. But luckily in the 10 years, like, nothing's happened. You learn to navigate through certain things and avoid places, and just kind of avoid the situation. So and that just comes over time. Some guys, as you see, like, we all see in the news, like, they can't avoid it. They're just either at the wrong place at the wrong time, or just making those choices to be there, and then bad things happen. So definitely sit down with your family and friends, go over these benefits, go over the hours, go over, what kind of city it is, and the overall job, because you'd be surprised on how many people don't look into the backside of things. And being a cop is cool and it's fun and all that, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and you want to make sure that this is gonna fit more than just you. If you have a family or close friends that are basically family, and they're gonna be affected by this too. All right, so those were my 5 tips or pieces of advice that goes into becoming a police officer. And if you're in that process, drop a comment down below, or if you're thinking about doing it, drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're at with it, what do you think about these 5 things, if it helped you out at all, or if you have any other things to add to it, drop a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you got anything from this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.